Hello. As you can see at this given moment, I don't have the greatest position with the camera, so this is what I have for now, and I am sorry in advance. But regardless, I am here to talk about the Hoosier Youth Philharmonic proposal. Now, I should probably explain what that is. Well, the Hoosier Youth Philharmonic, or HYP for short, is an orchestra strings program that was started by a person whose name was Jane Gowker, along with her best friend Julia Insinger. Now, this is the picture you see in front of you. That is Miss G. Also, another thing, because I have known these people since I was little, I will be referring to them by the nicknames that they have asked me to call them by. But either way, this is a picture of Miss G, and sadly, I could not find a photo of Miss E. Insinger does not have tons and tons of photos and doesn't like doing photos, so out of respect and lack of unable to find a photo, I cannot provide one at this time. But either way, Miss G and Miss E both started this program all the way back in the year of 1980. Now, this kept going all the way until the school year of 2015 to 2016, when Miss G would end up passing her position as head of the orchestra program over to a man known as John Hanson. And Mr. Hanson has been in charge since then. This was the photo I could find of him since, just like Miss he is not the fondest of photos of himself, but he can be rather flamboyant when he wishes. But as of right now, Miss G, while she is no longer in charge of the program, still works alongside with Missy and Mr. Hanson. The reason for this? She cares. And to quote her from a long time ago, she misses her kids. But and Missy continues to work with Mr. Hanson since they've honestly become best friends themselves, even if they can drive each other a bit insane. And so I was able to get two pictures of two very influential people. They are very, very sweet people, and they both work hard to continue to support kids and encourage kids to go and try violins, viola, cello, or bass, especially bass. We always need more bass players. Now, why would I choose this group? Well, as some of their history suggests, this was a program that has grown a lot since then. That means, as years went on, they were eventually able to grow big enough where they were able to provide a part of the strings program to those as early as 5th grade. I started playing violin when I was in 5th grade. So, this means a lot to me, and my little brother Diamond has also started playing, though he did not play violin. He played cello, and he's currently still a student. And our little sister Ellie, she plays violin, though she is not in 5th grade, but plans on to, and has Mr. Hanson, funny enough, as her violin tutor, as he was mine for the last few years of high school. Another thing is, I've worked with all of them eventually, whether it been from Miss G giving us directions on how to put the stage together, as one of the biggest things about the program is they have stuff for the kids to do, such as stage crew. So, set up and tear down. There are many, many things to do. Miss C was always the sweetest, and she's constantly working with kids to help with sizing, to give advice, plays the piano whenever the music calls for it, so that all of us who are playing our instruments can play our part. And she does not have to worry about us with the piano. Mr. Hanson, even though he did start in the school year of 2016 to 2017, that was the same year that I started high school. So when he started, I was a freshman. So you can imagine there were many, many new changes, and no one really knew what was going to happen. But regardless, even though I had a really rough year that year, I was still able to have a place of an escape. Now, another thing, I am the t-shirt designer of this crew. Ever since my senior year trip, as one of the biggest things about orchestra is they have one big trip that can go somewhere for competition and to go have fun. Sadly, COVID-19 ended up taking that from us, and that was the year where I decided to offer to do the t-shirt design, as we always have trip shirts. It got canceled, but Hanson liked it enough that now I work with him in order to, well, give the kids a fun t-shirt. And sadly, I don't have any photos of that, as I never really bothered to put them online, and it's just out of respect for each of the kids who are wearing said t-shirts in a lot of the pictures, whether it be on Facebook or Twitter. So you can just find them over there, and you can find the photos there, and you'll see pictures of the t-shirts. Another thing is, I have a brother who's actively a part of it, and I have a little sister who will be joining the program once she's, hits 5th grade, gets older, and by the time she hits high school, hopefully Mr. Hanson and Missy will still be there. That's the plan, anyways. Another thing is I have a parent, so Mindy Bartlett, otherwise my mother, works with John in particular when it comes to social media. So she's in charge of the Facebook, she's in charge of Twitter, she's in charge of making sure that information gets out there through those sources. And so sometimes it requires me to step in and say, hey, let's design this. So there are multiple reasons. Some more practical than others, some more emotional than others. But honestly, that's not ever a problem. Now with Mr. Hanson and Missy, they are some of the sweetest people ever, and I will forever be grateful for them. Now, we got a couple goals here, especially on my part. First one being, I gotta get the t-shirt design done. So for their trip shirt, they are actually going to Florida again. I ended up going to Florida myself for, funny enough, again, the exact same thing over there for Universal. So they get to run around Harry Potter World once more and have much more butterbeer than, well, I wish I could be there so I could have my butterbeer. Really good drink. I recommend. But that is where they're going for their trip, as there is going to be a huge competition down there, and I got to get the t-shirts done for them. The next thing is help kids with the fundraisers. Fundraisers are always a bit wacky, as they both need the kids and the parents' help, and honestly anyone who might have been a part of the program before to help with that. In fact, next week on Friday, we have something called a Night of Dance, which is one of the biggest fundraisers there, as it's a night of celebration and dance for our seniors and the upcoming seniors. It is super cool, super sweet. There's lots of food and songs they play, and it's tradition, as that was one of the first fundraisers that was ever created for the Strings program back when Miss G was in charge. And so we work on that to make sure things are set up, tickets are sold and whatnot, and it's happening right next Friday. So, say the least, I'll be busy. Next goal is to help come up with ways of promoting with my mom. So, as with the fundraisers, we have to come up with different ways of promoting, whether it be through social media or in person, and sometimes I have to step in to help with that. This year will be no different. Now, the next thing are the chaperones who are going on the trip. The chaperones recently have actually come to me and said, hey, would you make a fun chaperone shirt for us? So that's well, that can be a part of the t-shirt design to be finalized. These are just for the chaperones in particular, as they want a fun t-shirt and have fun with it. Now, as of right now, the current plan is to work on the t-shirt and make it till next week for Night of Dance, as that will be our most difficult night as of right now. Between that and the Valentine's fundraiser should continue, some things are still currently up in the air as we do not know what the school will allow. But the current plan is for us to try to get the t-shirt design done as soon as possible and then prepare for next Friday. Possible problems? Some of the most basic problems could be communications. John Hanson, I love the man, I do, but sometimes he is not the easiest to communicate, as he doesn't always answer texts, whether he be busy or more often than not, he leaves his phone in another room on silent. Another problem is times. I'm a college student, so I'm not going to constantly be able to help, just as well, it kind of goes in hand with the other two. There are some people that are rather difficult to work with, whether it be from personal history or, well, new parents who are frustrated, and that's always and will be a problem. But we gotta work with what we got. And then the last problem, and this is more of a personal thing, is family getting sick. As you know, COVID-19 is still a thing, and scary enough, recently my dad caught it, though thankfully he's recovered. So there's always a strong possibility, not to mention getting the colds, sore throats, whatnot, are still always an issue. And Hanson or Miss E could even get sick, or one of the kids who has solos. There's so many problems that could possibly occur and will most likely occur one way or another. So, where am I going with all this? We got things working in plans. Things are not going to be easy. But I've known these people for most of my life, as they're part of the reason why music is so ingrained with myself and why it's so important. Had it not been the requirement from my parents of I must learn a musical instrument, I don't think I would have ever known about them. But regardless, some of the seniors this year were freshmen when I was a senior. So I get to see some old friends, and I'm excited to see where they are. And on top of that, I'll be helping my little brother and hopefully my little sister when the future comes, and continue to push this amazing organization to continue to basically promote music. As many studies have shown, music has an amazing effect on mental health as a good thing. And music will forever be ingrained in our culture. So why should we lose it? In this way, it provides a new way for kids to learn. Say the least, I'll be forever grateful to the HYP. And I'm excited for new generations to come through.